it's a wedding. Oh, she's dead. She's getting her organs sucked out, or shit sucked out of her. Who shot her? Cried Rogers as he rushed into the hospital 3 minutes after his ex-wife died from a bullet through her head. Just a minute, Mr. Rogers, said Professor Stiggins. We'll have to ask you a few questions. Routine, you know, although divorced for past 6 months, you have been living in the same house with your ex-wife, have you not? You lout, you sponge. That's right, replied Rogers. Have any trouble recently? Yeah, well, yes. When I told her I was going on a business trip, she threatened to commit suicide. In fact, I grabbed a bottle of iodine from her. I'm going to read that in time. From her as she was about to drink it. When I left last evening at 7, however, telling her I was spending the night with friends in Sir Wickley, she made no objection. Returning to town this afternoon, continued Rogers, I called my home and the maid answered. Just what did she say? Inquired Stiggins. Oh, Mr. Rogers, they took poor mistress to St. Anne's Hospital about half an hour ago. Please hurry to her. She was crying, so I couldn't get anything else out of her. Then I hurried here. Where is she? The nurse will direct you, said Stiggins with a nod. Go on, nurse. To the noose. A queer case, this, Professor, said Inspector Kelly. These moderns are a little too much for me, I'm afraid. A man and woman living together after being divorced 6 months? A queer case indeed, Inspector, mused the Professor. And he'd better detain Mr. Rogers. If he didn't shoot her himself, I'm confident he knows who did. How does he know? How does he know? Let's see, shall we? Let's see. Yesterday, she threatened to commit suicide. And then he left last evening at 7. So she tried to kill herself. Then the same day he leaves. She makes no objection because she was dead. And then in the afternoon, he called his home and the maid answered. What's right? Something to do with the time, isn't it? Oh, there's no introduction, it's just some wanker coming in. What? Well, I'm guessing it's because she tried to commit suicide. He stopped her, then the same day he fucks off. And he says returning to town this afternoon. So he left town. I don't know. Fuck knows. That's why I say, because he said that, it was whatever. Could not have known his ex-wife had been shot unless he had the guilty knowledge of the crime. The maid did not say who she been. Who shot her? Oh, okay then. That makes sense. I didn't notice that. Who shot her? Cried Rogers. And then he can still get out of it though. He can say, oh, I forgot that part. I'm in distress. He's in distress. So what? He said, oh, she actually said this. She said that someone shot her and took her to the hospital. I just forgot that part. Just because he didn't mention it. He's not going to know every detail. His ex has just been shot, although he doesn't really care about his ex because he left the same night she tried to kill herself. Queer case. His wife was not only a man. Gay marriage was illegal, so they had to arrest the husband. Yeah, I suppose, just because the maid didn't say it. It could be... Or the nurse, wait a minute. Or someone else could have said as well. The maid doesn't have to be the only one. He could have found out from someone else. What? Another failure.